filming my videos. Hi guys! Today I'm doing a video all about how I film and edit and just generally make my videos. I always get a bunch of questions basically about, you know, how I edit, how to start a YouTube channel, how to make videos, stuff like that. So I thought, why not just kind of like encompass everything that I do to make my videos into one video for you guys, so then you guys know what equipment I use. I can give you guys some editing tips and just stuff like that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's helpful to you, and let's get straight into it. Okay, let's get started with the first step, which is basically planning and coming up with video ideas. Coming up with video ideas, I don't really have a routine. I just kind of, you know, think of things throughout the week or whatever. I'll watch videos on YouTube, get inspiration and stuff like that, and I'll write down my ideas in my little notebook that I have right here. So these are some of the ones I wrote for 2018. You guys can see some of them I actually ended up filming, so like 4 days in Rome, stuff like that. Like you guys have seen these videos on my channel. Obviously, every now and then I'll make videos that are kind of basic, like you have seen before, week in my life or stuff like that. But I try to kind of think of things that I feel like people haven't done as much, or at least put a little bit of a twist on it. And then once I have some ideas that I know I want to make, I start to map out when I'm going to upload them. So if you're on my laptop and you go to the calendar, you can see all these little blue things right here. I basically just make events, and then I'll kind of just write down what the video idea is, and then just put all day and the date that's going to be uploaded. And this just helps me stay on track when it comes to filming, knowing when I'm going to upload, and just making sure that I'm more consistent. As you can tell if you scroll up here, I didn't do it last month, which is why I wasn't uploading as much as possible. Yeah, it's a good way to kind of keep track of everything. Final thing that's part of the planning phase is done right before I actually start filming the video, and that's basically either me writing down the talking points that I have to make if it's a talking video, or if it's a more like cinematic video, or like just not a talking video, I'll write down which different types of clips I have to get. For my last video, when I did the things to do to save the environment, I wrote down all the different things that I was going to mention and put a little bit of detail for each of them. This just makes sure I don't forget to do anything when I'm filming, and just kind of helps me keep track of how far along I am. So when I did film these different videos, I usually tick off when I'm done with certain things. So yeah, that just kind of makes everything easier. Now let's get on to the filming bit. When it comes to filming my videos, I don't really have a specific technique that I use. I just kind of film them how I want them to look. I don't know how to explain it, but I still figured that I would use this section of the video to talk about some of the equipment that I use to actually get those clips, because I think cameras are a big part of YouTube, and you want to make sure that if you're buying a camera that you're spending a lot of money on something that you're going to use a lot. So the first camera I thought I'd talk about is the Canon G7X. Now I've been wanting to do this for the longest time. Wow. This is talked about on YouTube a bunch. It's kind of like the YouTube camera. Everybody uses it. It has a flip screen, which is really good for if you're vlogging, so you can see yourself. So then when I'm filming, I know what I'm recording. It's also really, really practical because you can carry it around really easily because it just fits in your bag and stuff like that. But since it was falling apart, I figured that I would upgrade anyway. So the camera that I'm currently filming on is the EOS M50. Basically made a video talking about...
From uni, I went into that, and then it's sort of...
It's a small camera, but you can interchange the lenses, which is what I really liked about it, because I can put it in my bag and it won't be that heavy. However, I can still kind of change the look of my videos and really upgrade that quality above what I would get from the G7X. So yeah, other than cameras, the second most important pieces of equipment that I have are my tripods. The first one I have is this little one. It's by the brand Nama. It's kind of shitty, but it works, I guess. This is just really good for when I travel, and I kind of just get a little bit more flexibility for when I'm filming, because I can adjust this little top piece to make my camera more downward facing, upward facing, stuff like that if I'm filming a like sit down video and I'm abroad and I don't have my big tripod. I also usually use this when I'm vlogging, because I'm able to hold this and it just kind of makes the footage look a little bit more clean, and you can see like less of my arm reaching out to hold the camera, which I think is nice. So getting a little tripod like this is super cheap and it can just help up your videos a little bit. And then the other tripod that I have is my bigger one. This one is from Amazon. It's the Amazon Basics one. I got it for super cheap, but it works so well, and I've had it for years now. It's quite light, which makes it easy to move around the house and stuff like that. I'm using it to film right now. It's super good. Would 100% recommend, and I think getting a big tripod is definitely an essential when it comes to making videos. The final thing that I wanted to talk about in this section is camera settings. These are so important, and I don't know why, but nobody ever talks about them, so here I am. When I film, I make everything automatic, so the lighting and stuff like that adjusts automatically, and I don't have to kind of worry about if everything is too bright, too dark, whatever it is. I don't really mess with anything else just because I don't really know much about it. The one thing that makes a really big difference, though, is the picture style that you're in. I don't know if this exists on other brand cameras, but I have always used Canon, so this is always what I've stuck to. But I use landscape mode, which basically just makes the colors a little bit brighter, and I think just makes your videos look a little bit more interesting. But because landscape mode can be a little bit harsh, what I do is I turn down the contrast to -2 to make it a little bit softer. So yeah, those are the camera settings that I use if you ever want to achieve the look of my videos. I don't know, but there you go. So finally, let's move on to how I edit my videos. Okay, let's go. Okay, this is what it usually looks like when I edit my videos. All of it is done on this laptop right here. This is a Apple MacBook Pro, but it's not the new one, it's an older one. I've had this one for about like 5 years now, I'd say. I love it, it's my savior, amazing. The application that I use to edit my videos, like most YouTubers, is Final Cut Pro. It is expensive, and I know that I had to save up to when I first bought it, but I've had it for around 2 years now, and I can't imagine not using it. I do have a little bit of a routine, so when I film a video, I usually start off by kind of rough cutting it. Even if it isn't a talking video, I'm usually able to edit out whatever clips are blurry or me shaking the camera too much or something like that. But it usually just consists of me cutting out whatever bits that I know I'm not going to put into the video. I continue to refine my video from there on, and then once I'm happy with it, effects, music, and titles come in. Not all videos have this, but majority of them do. Starting off with music, because YouTube's copyright policy is annoying as fuck, and you really can't use any music that is gonna get copyrighted. So where I find the majority of my music is this application or website called Thematic. This is not sponsored by them. I'm not affiliated with them whatsoever, but I do really love this website because it's so easy to use and it's so practical. You just sign up, make a profile, and they have a bunch of different songs that you can download, and if you use any of them in your videos, all you have to do is put the little link that they provide in your description box and you're good to go. So that's where I find a lot of the music that I use. And in the cases that I don't use Thematic, my music is usually found through other YouTubers, so I'll Shazam the songs that they use in their videos, knowing that it's probably not copyrighted since they put it in their video. And then finally, effects and titles. I don't really use many like fancy titles anymore. I used to use a lot of Pixel Film Studio plugins, which are basically little packs of like titles and stuff like that that you can download off of Pixel Film Studios. But nowadays, I usually tend to just kind of use the basic title that you get on Final Cut Pro. The fonts that I usually use are either Basic Commercial. I use this a bunch. It's a super basic font, but it looks really good and clean. Baranoia, I think that's how you say it. It's the one that I use for all my thumbnails. And any other ones that I use are all found off of dafont.com. You can basically just use it to download a bunch of free fonts. It's super good, super useful, and that's usually where any other fonts come from. And then finally, sometimes I also use the like 2D styles, so Offset and Faux 3D are quite nice as well. And then finally, effects that I use on my videos usually consist of stuff that's super basic, but just kind of makes montages and stuff look a little bit nicer. And I will show any effect that I use on the screen right now. setup is weird or not. We're just hoping that it turns out good. The last step when it comes to making videos is color correction and filters. I know a lot of YouTubers use different filters on their videos. I don't. I might start soon, but as of now and all my other videos that I've made in the past, I don't use any filters. I used to be really big on color correction, now not as big, unless I can see that a clip clearly like looks gross and the lighting isn't the greatest. But once I've done any color correction that I need to do, I'm basically done editing my videos. And even though all those things seem super simple, I would still always say that editing is one of the major things that sets you apart from other YouTubers. So make it unique, make it your own, and make sure that you spend enough time on it. Yeah, that's it for how I make all my videos. That's gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and at least found it a little bit helpful. If you liked it, obviously give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you're not yet subscribed to this channel. I have a bunch of videos planned, so those are coming very, very soon. I know I've been bad at uploading, but I promise that's gonna end this summer. I love you guys all to the moon and back, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! 5 minutes. Oh, I messed up the sentence again!